year is indeed Prajapati, and there are two paths, the southern and the northern. Those that follow the path of desire, who are content with almsgiving, sacrifices, pious acts, and rituals, who desire to have offspring, preferring the life of the family, go to their ancestors by the southern path, attain the lunar world of the moon, the realm of reincarnation, and are born again. However, by the northern path go those who practice asceticism, celibacy, who have faith and pursue knowledge, for they seek the higher self, and obtain the solar world. This is the home of all living creatures. It is immortal, a place without fear. It is the highest goal. From there they do not return again. Let me start off with the root chakra. Okay, it says the year is indeed Prajapati, and there are two paths, the southern and the northern. Now, dealing with these spiritual centers, there's three major nadis, three major nerves, Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. Sushumna is the one going north, but there's two paths. One is southern geared, one is northern geared. These are the two paths, the northern and the southern path. Now, it says those that follow the path of desire, very key desire is the lower three chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus, the stomach, the procreative organ, and just your general organ that gives you the organ of comfort. Three organs of desire, the three organs of need, the three organs of safety and comfort and pleasure. So, those that follow the path of desire is the southern path, who are content with almsgiving, sacrifices, pious acts, and rituals. Now, remember, the root chakra is dealing with pious acts. The root chakra is all about materialism, money, riches, wealth, the attainment of all of that for the need and necessity of safety and survival. So with that root chakra, you have to understand, if you're going to be dealing with that southern path and seeking those things of the material world, material objects, you have to be able to appease and cover that realm, or cover those activities with a benevolent energy. And that benevolent energy is in turn what they call alms, or pious acts, sacrifices, rituals, almsgiving. So for those, there's three different types of people: the holy, the good, and the evil. For the holy, renounce all material objects, renounce that whole physical material world, renounce the root chakra, right? Just seek God, that's it. The second is the good. For the good, you're going to need materialism to raise your family and be in the material world. So in that case, you do those good or pious acts. You're part of the southern path. The northern path is the path, the first, the holy that I just went through. The second is the good, that's the southern path. The third, they're not on any path. Remember, they basically practice materialism, seeking the root chakra without covering their sins, or without covering their actions or their activities. So good and bad acts give birth to karma. Karma itself is something you want to avoid. You get it? So the good are able to keep dharma. Remember, the key thing, dharma, by practicing those pious acts, almsgiving, sacrifices, pious acts, and rituals. But the evil, remember the third group, they don't do none of the two, none of the above. They don't do none of those pious acts, but yet they want their materialism and their wealth, their riches, and they want sexuality, and they produce children. They're evil. Those are the three different distinct type of people. And that boils down to Eastern concepts of sattva, rajas, and tamas. Holy energy, good energy, and evil energy. The whole intent behind the root chakra and its pious acts is so you can attain, which is nothing but the human biology, the animal impulse, which is the drive for procreation, the drive of sex, right? Which is nothing but to reproduce and so forth. So the root chakra, all of its activities, all of those good pious acts that the good do, almsgiving, sacrifices, pious acts, and rituals, it's for those who, remember, as we keep reading, it says, who desire to have offspring, preferring the life of the family, right? Preferring the life of the family. So those who desire to have offspring are the ones who are motivated and have those good acts or those good activities in the root chakra, able to get to the second level, which is the Swadhisthana chakra, or the sacral plexus. And remember, these are worlds too. The root chakra is Bhuloka, the second world is Bhuvar Loka. But that loka, that world, it says, those who desire to have offspring, preferring the life of a family, go to their ancestors by the southern path. So that second world is the realm of the ancestors, called Bhuvar Loka. or it's called Pitru Loka. Pitru Loka. Pitri or Pitru means ancestor or forefathers or progenitors, your ancestors. Pitri Loka or Buvar Loka is also the realm of procreation and the sexual desire. You get it? So your ancestors literally dwell in the woman's ovum and her eggs and all of the different procreative fluids, and they dwell in the male, meaning in his procreative organ, his penis, and his semen. His semen is his ancestors. His ancestors is his semen. You get it? So when you dwell in that realm, based on your activities, based on the path of desire, you're literally leading your soul to that dimension, that world called Pitri Loka. See? So now that we're breaking down these 7 heavens, you'll be able to see that the different distinct places outside of the physical world. Literally, remember, the kingdom of heaven is where? Within. So these are the different heavenly realms within inside of our body. Very simple. So God dwells at the highest of the heavens, and the ancestors dwell, like I said, at the second level, the second heaven, or Buvar Loka, the sacral plexus. So it says, who desire to have offspring, preferring the life of family, go to their ancestors by the southern path. So we see that there's 2 different paths. The desire to have offspring, which is basically sex, and those who do good deeds to get sex, they go to the ancestors in the realm of Buvar. So sex is the path of the ancestors to Buvar. But celibacy, so we're making a dichotomy. Celibacy is the path to heaven. Get it? We make that plain. Celibacy is the path to God or heaven. But sex is the path to the ancestors in Buvar. 2 totally different paths. One's going northern, the northern path. One is the southern path. Made plainly for us in ancient Eastern philosophy. This is an African philosophy too. I'll go there in the future. It's all across the world in every single ancient society. All of them knew these secrets. This is the great mystery. This is the great spiritual practice and penance and discipline. So all the ancient spiritual teachings deal with these disciplines. And the modern ones as well, through the Abrahamic traditions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, so on and so forth. All of them deal with and put preference on these practices and these philosophies. But we're breaking it down to make it simple in modern day, taking those ancient texts and updating them and shedding light on them. You know what I'm saying? Blowing away the dust so we can see and understand. So it says, go to their ancestors by the southern path, attain the lunar world of the moon, the realm of reincarnation, and are born again. Very key. Or born again. So this is very key. This shows that when the Eastern systems is dealing with reincarnation, which I'll be dealing with in the future thoroughly, when they deal with reincarnation, they're not talking about reincarnating in other forms of life like animals, insects, and plants. They're dealing with lineal or ancestral reincarnation. Very key what it says. Those who desire to have offspring, preferring the life of family, wife, husband, and children, go to their ancestors at death. Go to the realm of Buvar at death by the southern path of prana, or their energy, their wind, and attain the lunar world of the moon, the realm of reincarnation. So they would go back, since they produce children, they end up inside of their children. It's very simple. And they attain the realm of reincarnation and are born again through their children. See? Because they put their soul in that energy. When they copulated, he impregnated a woman. She mixed, his ancestors mixed with her eggs, and his own soul, in that semen, mixes with her eggs and her soul, and they produce a new human body and a new human experience, a new soul's experience. But they themselves are in that soul, now ancestors inside of that new human body's organs, dwelling there, unseen, subtle in the spiritual world through hormones, but still there. And the point of that is the rebirth, that is the reincarnation. Now the ancient teachings have the highest principle, philosophical goal, to never die, be reborn, or reincarnate ever again, to overcome death, rebirth, and reincarnation. That is the highest teaching. That's moksha, nirvana, samadhi, turiya. It says, however, by the northern path go those who practice asceticism. Now, asceticism and austerities is basically spiritual practices of renouncing pleasures for the desire, for the higher desire of bigger goals. So you let go of the little addictions to be able to attain the bigger goal. That's what asceticism is. It's being able to master and get discipline over the body, the 5 senses, and the mind through japa, which is chanting, mantras, through mudras. That's why people do hatha yoga, which is the type of yoga. It's a distinct type of yoga of physical postures called asanas. You have prayer, pilgrimages, where people take long pilgrimages, many different types of spiritual practices. Some people take sacred herbs and go into a cave and stay in there for 3 months. Some people do fasting. These are all what austerities and ascetic practices, asceticism. So, however, by the northern path go those who practice asceticism, right? Who practice asceticism. Celibacy is a type of asceticism, right? Who have faith, key thing, faith. Now we move on from the sacral plexus to the solar plexus. They have faith, they have willpower, they have motivation. And they what? Pursue knowledge, right? Knowledge. And they seek the Atma, the self, the Pada Atma, the true self, the higher self, and obtain the solar world or the realm of light, right? The brimming world of light, not the physical dense world of matter, but the realm of light, of prana, right? Of hydrogen, of gas, of light. The same thing that God is itself, right? That our thoughts are made of in our neurons and our transmitters, right? It says who practice asceticism, celibacy, and who have faith. Key thing is the willpower and the faith and the dedication. Remember, that's the realm of Swarga or the realm of Devaloka, but the realm of willpower. Now, I want to point out one thing. It says, this is the home of all living creatures. It is immortal, a place without fear. Very key thing, a place without fear. Now we're from the solar plexus, and now we're in the heart chakra. The Anahata chakra, the unstruck sound, the realm of the unstruck sound of Om. That is the what realm of what no fear. Because once you're able to overcome the attachment to the karmatic cause and effects of good actions versus bad actions, or making mistakes or not making mistakes, misfortune and fortune, when dealing with family life and procreation and offspring and children, which is in the lower worlds, you have what? No fear. That is the realm of fear and the realm of suffering. See? Those who are very powerful, those who are very skillful, those who have good karma are able to overcome that world based on their development and their maturity in that realm. But those who have the most maturity, who have already spent and have been successful in those worlds, are able to leave that world and travel to the higher worlds. It's based on your level of karma, based on your level of development over many generations. Anahata, or the heart chakra, which is Mahaloka, the next realm, the great realm, the realm of the rishis. And I'll deal with the beings in each one of these worlds in a minute, but I'm going to make it plain. It's the realm of no fear. It is the highest goal. What the highest goal? To get into these higher realms. It says, and pursue knowledge, key thing. Vishuddha, which is Janaloka, and Tapaloka, Ajna. They pursue what? Knowledge, called Gnana or Jnana, gnosis. They seek knowledge. For they seek the higher self, the Atma, or God, right? So move the Ajna to Sahasrara chakra, which is the realm of Satya or Brahma Loka, the world of God, the realm of God. And that's where your higher self is, sitting on the throne of your sphenoid box in your pituitary gland. That is that higher self. So you do that through the spiritual penances and spiritual asceticisms we talked about earlier, and through what? Celibacy, key thing we just dealt with. Celibacy gives you the opportunity to have the time to seek knowledge and to seek that God or seek that self through spiritual practices. Because it takes time. You have to be able to get into trances and get out of them and be able to understand the distinctions between reality and illusion, between Maya and Satya, or these different complicated, complex concepts and ideologies and philosophies. You have to take time. It takes time. You can't be a family man and a householder because all of your time will be dedicated to those good acts, those pious acts we talked about. But if you be so graceful, if you be so privileged, if you be so fortunate to be able to awaken in this life and not get trapped in that wheel of samsara and able to escape it, you'll be able to make it to what? The heavens or heaven, and be able to seek out what? Pursue knowledge and seek knowledge of self. So knowledge of self is beyond the physical body, beyond gender, race, class. All beings in their deepest, most subtle parts of their self, they subconscious, are that same being, God. And only those who renounce the ego and renounce these different levels of desires and these different levels of activity by reaching stillness in a trance get into that dimension higher than this physical or dense dimension we're in. So hopefully you understand I broke down 3 reasons how sexuality keeps you from getting to heaven, and why celibacy is the gate to heaven, the path to heaven. Remember, it's separated by the path to the ancestors, which is sex being what? The path to the ancestors, called Buvar, and celibacy being the path to God or heaven. 2 different distinct paths. And 3 reasons why is the first reason, without celibacy, you get trapped in the realm of reincarnation, the realm of samsara. The second reason is because without celibacy, you get trapped in ignorance by being preoccupied with the physical world, which is vain and mundane and a total waste of time. And the third is the distraction from being able to seek and realize your higher self, or gain knowledge of self, which is what God, nothing but God itself. So those are the 3 reasons. And with that, hopefully you understand all of these deep concepts. I don't have much time, but I'll go deeper into all of these concepts in the future. This is just verbatim crumb philosophy for you to be able to get a taste of it, a sample of it, and we'll go deeper for those who need to. So that, peace.
Tananum,